Why, hi you guys, welcome back to my little corner on booktube. So today I've got a little bit of a book haul. So these are the books that I've accumulated over the last couple of months of this year. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first book that I got was The Promise of Happiness by Justin Wright. Cartwright. Justin Cartwright. This person's apparently a South African author. Apparently, from what I remember. Oh, this is where this bookmark was. From what I remember, this person is a South African author, but the person moved to live in a different country. I don't know. And I did start it, but I DNF'd it because it was very boring at the beginning. But I'm gonna pick it up again. I have a hard time DNFing books because there's just too many books where like the first 60 to 80 pages were just like boring, but then when you keep going it just gets more and more interesting. So I can't. So I'm gonna try it again and see if it gets better. But yeah, so I picked this book up at the beginning of this year. I think in January, February, March, around there is when I picked this book up. I don't know what this book is about, but maybe let me read the first like 2 sentences of the synopsis. So basically it says Charles Judd meanders round his local Cornish beach, contemplating the turns his life has taken. At home, his wife Daphne struggles hopelessly with the latest fish recipe. Okay, let me read the third sentence. 2 of their children are keeping it all together. Okay, there seems to be more to this. The third, Charles and Daphne's prodigal daughter Juliet, is being released from prison in New York after a sentence for art theft. This is the day, on the face of it so ordinary, on which Justin Cartwright's explosive novel opens as all 5 members of the family try to come to terms with the return of Juliet, and their deepest thoughts and darkest secrets are laid bare. So we'll see what this is about, because we just get a bit of information about the family member, very minuscule. So we'll see what it's about. But yeah, this was the first book that I bought. I think it was 15 rand. It was 15 rand. I'll put up what that is in dollars and what that is in rands. I mean in Canadian dollars as well. The next book that I got, the one that I hold, is the first book in the Truly Devious series, because if y'all remember, I think last year I hauled the second book because I went to the bargain books. Sale situation in, I don't remember where it was. But I went and I got it for 60 rand. This one I got for, I think, 69. Yeah, I got this one I think for 69 rand. So these are very cheap for me. Do I always have the money for that? Absolutely not. But so I got the first book in the Truly Devious series, so I can finally read it. Not now, but sometime during this year I will finally read Truly Devious. It's a mystery from my recollection, if I remember correctly. It's a mystery. Let me just read, I guess, the first couple of sentences. Ellingham Academy is a famous private school in Vermont, founded by an early 20th century tycoon for the best and brightest students around. When Ellingham's wife and daughter were kidnapped, the only clue was a mocking riddle listing methods of murder, signed with the frightening pseudonym Truly Devious. So I don't remember all the details about this, but yeah, a lot of people have read this. I don't remember if a lot of people loved it or not, but I was seeing this all over the show, so I bought both, so I'm gonna test to see if I like it or not, because I really do like mysteries. I like thrillers. I like too many genres, but mysteries is one of them because they get you to think, so let's see where that takes me. And then the next ones I got like a couple of weeks ago. I got The Egoist by George Meredith, and I got Middlemarch by George Elliot. Wow, both of these people's names are George. Both of these people's names are George. I didn't realize that. I thought it was probably the same person. But I got these at my local convenience store. They just had these books at the front of the store. Every book there was 10 rand each, so I bought both, which was 20 rand in total. So I don't know what any of these classics are about. By the way, I don't think I've read any classics minus Animal Farm and To Kill a Mockingbird. I think it's a Mockingbird, no? To Kill a Mockingbird and then Animal Farm are the only two classics I've read. Other than that, I haven't read like a lot of the classics that everyone's going crazy about. But I think I have heard about Middlemarch before. I've seen some people talk about it. The Egoist sounds familiar, but I don't know if someone was talking about it or not. I don't know. But I definitely want to try out these two classics. Like, I bought them for pretty cheap. So I definitely want to give them a go and see what I think. I don't even know what they're about. Oh, this one has notes. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, okay, I'm too lazy to read what they're about, but these are just two classics. I found them at the front of my convenience store, and I was like, ooh, I've heard about Middlemarch, let me give it a go. And then I saw The Egoist, and I was like, let me just take both of them. So we'll see what I think about them. And then the last book I bought, I actually just bought today, which is book 2 in the Covenant House series. Duology, sorry. The Covenant House Duology. I think it's the Covenant House Duology, because again, it says the Covenant House 2, so I'm assuming that this is the name of the series. And it's called Between the Wild Branches. I'm currently reading book 1, which is To Dwell Among Cedars, which focuses on his sister. What's this child's name again? Because I know his name is now Nathan, but he doesn't want to go by that name. Lucio. So I think this focuses on Lucio, and book 1 focuses on his older sister, Arissa, or Arissa, because I don't think they say their R's the way like some of us say R. So I think it's Arissa, and then her name now is Eliora. So yeah, because it was from a Philistine name to a Hebrew name, I think. So anyways, so I bought book 2 because I already have book 1, and I know it's a duology, and I'm already enjoying book 1 so much. So I'm like, might as well just get book 2. So I got to book 2. But I did hear from, I think, Paperback and Ponytails that like this duology is her least favorite of Connellan Cossette's works. So it means that if I enjoy this series, it only gets better from here, which sounds like very good news to me. So yeah, I don't know what book 2 is about, but I do know from what I just skimmed through, well, not skimmed through, but when I just looked at some of the pages, I think it's focusing on Lucio, who is the brother, and some other person that he met probably in book 1. So yeah, my battery's about to die, it's flashing red at me. But I just wanted to say a little bit of a funny story about this book. So because I got it today, right, so I was in Books, right, the place that I go to get my Christian fiction and biblical fiction, and this one specifically biblical fiction, and I was having a bit of a dilemma because I was trying to choose between the Wild Branches to Dwell Among Cedars, Between the Wild Branches. I was trying to choose between this book and I think Jamie Jo Wright's, one of the most recent books that was released by Jamie Jo Wright, and I was like, do I choose that book or do I choose this book? Do I choose this book or do I choose that book? And I was struggling. I was struggling because that book was 80 rand and this book was 100 rand, but I have the first book in this series and I don't know if that's even part of a series or what. I just know I just saw Jamie Jo Wright and I was like, I need to take it because I've never read a Jamie Jo Wright book before, and all the Christian booktubers I watch are always like, Jamie Jo Wright, Jamie Jo Wright, I love Jamie Jo Wright, Jamie Jo Wright, like they just talk about it like nobody's business. So I definitely wanted to get my hands on that book. But, and then I called one of my best friends. I was like, Case, okay, I don't know what to do. I have to choose between this book, which is a book 2 in a series in a duology, and then this other book, which is cheaper, but you know, it's not part of a series that I have currently. And then she's like, babes, why did you even call me? You know what you need to do. And I'm like, what do I need to do? Freaking get the second book in the duology. And I'm like, yes, you're right. So I followed her advice and I took the second book. But I was so tempted by that Jamie Jo Wright book. Like, it's not even funny. I was so tempted. I was like, am I ever gonna see you again? Am I ever gonna see you again at 80 Rand? I don't know. But so that was a bit of a dilemma between choosing this book and choosing a book that was written by Jamie Jo Wright, because a lot of them Christian booktubers, they be going crazy over Jamie Jo Wright, and I'm like, okay guys. And it was actually super cool when I was in Books, because when I was checking the fiction section, I was seeing so many of the books that people on Christian booktube have been talking about, and I'm like, if only I had a job and money, I would have walked out of here today with a lot of books. Guys, but it's a good thing I don't have a job and money, because I can't be spending my money like that. I just can't. But yeah, oh, and I bought this for 100 Rand and the original price was 395. So yeah, so these are all the books that I got, and it was amazing. It was fun. It's so nice to just go around collecting books basically for cheap, because buying books can be an expensive hobby, but I'm so glad that I was able to get all of these for pretty cheap, and I can still enjoy the hobby of reading. I know libraries exist, but again, I don't have a car, so the closest library to me is not in the safest area if you want to walk. So yar. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things, and I'll see you in another video. Bye guys.
Hold